Well, this chapter marks the beginning of the fight between Naruto and Kiba and Akamaru, and there's definitely some good surprises to be had in this chapter.
Naruto, number 75. Naruto's coming of age.
Gotta love Naruto, boy, I tell you. Woo! Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and awe-inspiring Naruto-heavy tale of, you guessed it, Naruto. Now, of course, our last chapter, wound up really finishing up the sixth fight of the tournament, and the end of that is, or I shouldn't even say tournament, more like these sort of like one-on-one battles to kind of narrow down the field of, the field of potential students and whatnot, right? Potential graduates, for the Chunin exams. And at the end, it was announced that Naruto is up for the 7th round. Naruto is going to be going up against Kiba. And that's how things left off. First and foremost, I appreciate everyone being patient with me as I'm trying to work back into things over here from my month and a half hiatus. Just trying to get back on track with everything, and certainly in the coming days and weeks and what have you, we will be on much more of a regular schedule for Naruto, as well as any of the other series that I'm into, that I'm working with. So bear with me, please, and be patient, and that's about all I can ask. So that is how the last chapter left off, though, of course, and then this one picks up right there. We get Naruto, and ultimately, if you remember, Kiba is the one that he has the dog Akamaru, and it's kind of like his sidekick. And he came up with Naruto. He came up, with Naruto, and he saw that he was the one that was always screwing around, not doing well. Didn't get a good hold or have a good grasp on anything, and they kind of make some idle chit-chat threats to one another. Naruto, says, hey, what, that's not fair. Why are you using a dog? And, he says, isn't that against the rules? And they say, no, if it's part of your ninjutsu, if it's an animal, a pet, an insect, whatever, it can be used, and that's cool, right? But anyway, he winds up Kiba tells Akamaru, I won't need you, don't worry, I like a little handicap anyway. And he goes through this little flashback, this series of flashbacks of, again, when they were kind of coming up together in class and things like that, and seeing that Naruto, even after a few years, couldn't even master a basic transformation, was always either screwing around or just not paying enough attention, or, whatever, when he was trying to, transform into the Hokage. So anyways, as the fight goes and gets started over here, I thought what was really cool about this is it starts off with it being very one-sided. Kiba is just beating the shit out of Naruto, whipping him back and forth all over the place. And everybody else, all the onlookers and whatnot, they're kind of sitting around too, like going, what the hell, okay, yeah, this guy's a loser, I guess we knew that. And everybody's kind of on the side of, yeah, Naruto is just going to get his ass beat, right? So, nonetheless, though, as the fight kind of wears on and goes through and the pages and whatnot, there was just this great part where, Kiba is like pretty much, has hit him a bunch of times, kind of like a stay down type of thing. And Naruto, man, I just love this double-page spread shot of him, right? Don't underestimate me. And that's the one thing that that you should always remember in life is you never know who you're messing with. Don't ever underestimate your opponent. And it doesn't matter if it's your opponent in a debate at school, somebody that you're going up against, maybe you have a team, and again, it could be even at just like the school level, the collegiate level. It doesn't matter, or in real life. In a work environment, in a and even in, of course, the worst part of it would be any type of physical confrontation. But don't ever underestimate your opponent. Don't be that person that sits and goes and tries to give your monologue while you think that you have your opponent beaten, but you don't know your opponent and you don't know if they're really beat. You're just taking a chance. And that's kind of what Naruto is saying. Don't underestimate me, boy, So, and then, and even Sakura is kind of cheering Naruto on from the sidelines, which I thought was kind of cool. Sakura and Kakashi, they know what's going on. Kakashi's like, since the Chunin exam started, I've seen something within him just kind of, it seems like he's coming into his own, So Naruto goes, and after he says the don't underestimate me thing, he talks a little bit of shit, and he says, I was letting you pound on me. I was letting you beat me all around so I could basically see what your strengths were, what your weaknesses were, so I could see how to actually beat you. And for those of you that you know have not been involved in any type of martial art or any type of, it doesn't even have to be a martial art. I mean, it can even like American boxing, anything like that. They always tell you to go and try to, if you don't know a lot about your opponent. I mean, even you know, professional NFL, you know, NBA type teams, NHL, baseball. You watch video prior to your next opponent to see what your opponent's strengths and weaknesses are. You know. So it's a very, very common thing to do. Naruto just wound up kind of doing it on the fly, though, because it wasn't like he had time to prepare for the fight and then go and watch some video or hear about what he could do. He knows this guy a little bit, but wanted to go and see firsthand what he was capable of. So I thought it was very cool. It was done very well. Towards the end of the chapter, though, and this was great. He goes and he winds up, you know, Kiba goes and pulls in Akamaru, you know, and goes to sick him on Naruto. And he goes, boom, drops down a smoke bomb, right? So Naruto's like, oh shit, you know, and dog comes at him through the smoke, looks like he's biting on him, you know, they get enveloped in the smoke, enveloped, or whatever you want to say, in the smoke, you know, and as the smoke kind of dies down and they come out of it, you see Naruto on the ground, and the dog, you know, Akamaru standing there all, you know, and Kiba's just like, oh, see, the dog took you down and this and that, right? All of a sudden, I knew this shit, right? I could see this one coming a mile away. He pulled a little switcher, especially because of the whole flashback with the "you can't do the transformation properly," you know, from the flashback from the beginning of the chapter. Naruto went and did a little switcheroo, right, and went and turned himself into the dog, and I'm assuming made the dog look like his body using the art of the doppelganger, or whatever he wound up doing, shadow clone jutsu. He winds up, he's the dog, and he comes at Akamaru and bam, at Kiba, I'm sorry, and bam, just latches onto his arm. And then he goes and he turns back into himself and he's like, oh man, geez, you even taste like dog. I'm thinking, oh man. So it wasn't so much that it backfired on him, it was just kind of funny. But as the chapter progresses, though, you see everybody that's on the sidelines, you see them all starting to go and be like, oh wow, that was really difficult. What he just did there, that required like some concise and expert timing. Like that was some top-notch stuff. That was some next tier, next level stuff going on. And you start to see him slowly kind of gain the admiration and respect of his peers, you know, and which is very good, because especially in something like this, you want, yeah, the admiration and respect, sure, but at the end of the day, in something like this, when you're going head-to-head with other people and in a competition like this, and only a few may come out on top and graduate and become Chunin, you also want your opponents to fear you. You want them to go and be like, oh, wow, this guy is he's some next level shit. You want people to think that, you know, so definitely very, very cool. But anyway, the chapter winds up ending up, of course, with them just, you know, they're still in the middle of tussling now that, you know, Naruto has kind of bit him, but it sort of backfired because he was like, oh, it tastes like dog and whatnot. And the chapter winds up ending off right after that. So God only knows what's going to wind up happening in the next one. But certainly happy to be back on it. Happy to be back. Naruto brings a smile to my face. I really like, you know, his underdog story. And regardless of, you know, what your thoughts are as far as it being cliche or overdone or whatever, Naruto's been around for a long time, and there's a reason for that. It's not just good marketing. It's good storytelling. It's good writing. It's good art. You know, ultimately, it's a good story. It's a feel-good story. That's the reason why those type of movies or comics, anime, manga, books, that's why they're so popular, you know? Because at one time or another, no matter how good you are or how high you are up on your platform of life, you know, we've all been in that position where you felt like you were the underdog, like you were not good enough, like you just wanted so hard for something to work out the way you wanted it to, or what have you. So anyway, my chapter question for you, though, brothers and sisters, is what are your thoughts on Naruto and his cliche or stereotyped underdog story? I'd like to know what your thoughts are, especially because many of you are longtime readers of Naruto and watchers of the anime as well. And, you know, so many people have said, oh, and it was good, now it's not. And there's other people who are like, no, it was always good. People have just gotten tired of it because, you know, you see the same characters over and over again for 10 or 12 or 15 years. I don't want to get into any of that. I'd just like to know what your opinion is for your personal journey. Your journey is different than my journey. Simple as that. I'm not going to pretend to know your journey. That's why I ask these questions. So, in your journey and in your opinion, is Naruto, what do you think of Naruto's story? His underdog, his Rocky type story, if you will. So, leave your answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation.
Remember to look at my other channels, and as always, thank you for watching.